Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you being here for the time in which I am here. I'm gonna make this count as much as I can. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Just creating a video right now.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, it's okay. It's
I
okay.
just gotta touch this room up and stuff.
It's all good. You know, in a sense, it's all part of history. You know, to see this room once what it was before, and then to see all the renovations. You know, it's great to see. Along with you technically working here at this, you know, to hear of this moment. You know, it's just like I said, the best time to give people their flowers in life is sooner than never. So one of the qualities in which is important for us to possess is empathy. However, empathy is not always understood, yet it's essential to understand how empathy can influence other parts of our life, just like this environment we are in. Environment can influence psyche. Psyche is that of psychology. Psychology is the study of behavior. Thoughts influence behavior. Behavior influences action. Action influences results, and those results influence the thoughts. I'll put them on the board just so then we're able to go into this a little further. Just know that you are at the center. You start off with you. First star. And then your thoughts. Behavior, action, results, and thoughts. So in a sense, you are at the core of it all. The real question is, how do you recognize this? How do you bring it to the conscious mind, rather than just saying this is something to think about later, if later could be of a thing, when the reality is yesterday's tomorrow's here. So for us to capture the graces of what's able to be shared with you through what, even though you may hear it, you may also see it through what is called video display terminal. Just like a terminal of an airplane is the concept of what was here to leaving over there, is the programming you're receiving right now through this video. So what I'm able to share with you now is the fact that for available technology and software today, there is a tremendous amount of good that we can additionally establish within the physical quality of our lives. The quality of being on the same page and doing business with others reduces toxicity and drama across the board. That is essential, especially with a thing called e-commerce, which is also known as online business. A few areas that people could work on, if they don't really know how to start about that, is really basic. You have one, a calendar section of your phone or your PC, personal computer. You have notes section of your phone or whatever Word document that you type up on your computer. You also have the draft section of your email. So there's so many different ways in which you can lay out what it is you want to share with others. It's just you giving yourself a chance. But knowing the professionalism essential when interacting with people online as you would in person is important. So when they go to meet you in person, they understand what it is you're conveying to what it is you're actually doing are on the same congruency. That congruency ultimately leads to more connections happening, which is fascinating, as one I didn't think about until now is called nanocrystals. Nanocrystals are a great example of silk. Silk is also crafted with a thing called spider webs. Spider webs, as you may see, can sometimes just be within the air. There's a thing called dimensional shear, which is when one dimension is crossing into another, and it leaves sort of like a spider web residue remaining after. Why is that important? It's the recognition of these nanocrystals forming the silk, which is also a form of lattice. That's how you're able to keep, let's say, when sewing a sheet together, it's the lattice of material that comes together, so then you can actually, let's say, have a sheet which is when it's out wide, it can look like a web, which is also known as mesh. Mesh, in a sense, is, believe it or not, similar to lattice. Lattice is often recognized when it comes to apple pies. But what people don't realize is with lattice also is structure. So a spider web is a lattice because it's nanocrystals at an exponential level. So you have the web itself, which let's say is one box. However, when you see a web, there are multiple connections related to this initial box. So that is really what forms, similar to an apple pie. You have the lattice, that cover. It also looks like a cookie. But right now for this video, we're going to say an apple pie. Or a blueberry pie, because it's blue. This stuff exists within what's in front of us. Another one that we may not think about is called, at least I call it this, a parabolic microphone. You see these at games when somebody has what seems like a satellite dish with a microphone and reception of whatever directed line it is focused in, similar to, let's say, in a football game, to hear the snap count on the television. So even though people don't know it, it's the fact that they're taking in that information and matching whatever video it is that they're seeing. Otherwise, to hear everything that's going on in a football game without that inside audio would be really challenging for people, let's say on TV, to actually hear what's going on. And that's the beauty of how we read between the vertical and horizontal lines. I shared a video on that a while back. I'll try to attach it to this one. It's just the fact though that like you are at the center of it all. And somehow there's so much to this world that we can embrace if we know what's worth embracing. Especially with technology so available, no doubt it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy for brain rot to happen. It's easy to self-sabotage now more than ever for the access to intangible resources that we didn't know we could receive prior. So while artificial intelligence does have some form of intelligence, it's a concept that when we know how to make use of this technology, we actually have the upper hand, because it's the concept to how we make use of these devices that ultimately influences the way we physically live in 2025 and moving forward if we haven't done so already. But that's the grace of having compassion towards ourselves. If we are mindful to the way we use these devices, is what we'll additionally accomplish in the process. So like knowing how to use email, calendar, draft section of our email, phone, note, knowing how to take accountability with us giving ourselves a chance is essential with incremental progress. Incremental progress, believe it or not, is just like the spider web. It all starts with one box and then just keeps building on from there. That's also known as the crystal lattice, which is fascinating because it's the fact that how we see structures form together without seeing every single microscopic molecule that has, in a way, put it together. It's like a building. You don't see every single piece of it itself. You see sort of the whole picture, even when you try to look in on a specific area, to be as direct to the pinpoint of that moment, wherever that area it is you're referring to, is the fact that so many things had to come together for that to exist. Very similar to us. It's the concept of the spark of life. There's light that emits from within us. And incremental progress also guides this, because the fact that how we build off that spark. It's like the spark leads to more sparks, like the heartbeat. Like what one does to another, but how do we utilize that to live more life on our own terms? You know, that may not be something we ask ourselves on a regular basis, but it's okay. Today, that's different. You have a chance to ask yourself some things that you may not have thought you needed to ask yourself prior. And that needs to happen because as adults, at least, we have to reflect on the life lived and what we've learned, so then we don't repeat as many mistakes moving forward. That's the whole point of adulthood, is to not make nearly as many, if any, mistakes to that of what we've made in the past that would lead to self-sabotaging outcomes. Because that's really what it is. It's not the fact of perceiving our weaknesses as in lack, but perceiving our weaknesses as areas that could benefit from improvement, and acknowledging that everybody has strengths, just like the mustard seed. So when it comes to incremental progress, there's a word that I think about with this, and it may not seem like it goes with it at this moment, but just stick with me on it, and I'm sure we will get there. So it's the fact that patience. This is one form of compassion. And the reason I say that is you can't spell patience without pace. And that is incremental progress. I don't know if you're starting to see the trend here. But no, it is surely coming together. So for what we can make of use of today, it's only fair for us to cut back on the brain rot, the passive scrolling, the doom scrolling, whatever it is that's self-sabotaging you from who it is you would like to be in the near future, while also like doing the greater good for the 5-year-old version of yourself. It's like, how would you proceed in life if you knew the 5-year-old version of you was always next to you? Usually you would like to lead as a positive example and also a figure of speech as a figure of speech. Right? It's being patient with ourselves. What are the things that maybe we have to unlearn from the past that no longer serve us in the present or the future? Writing helps this tremendously as people have a chance to lay out some things that they didn't know would be okay for them to put on paper, that they no longer have to store upstairs, that allows them to be present and enjoy more life moving forward. Because just like I share a chart with students, see that? See that? It's kind of like, alright, yeah, you can see it. We're fine, we're good. Alright. So it's the fact that X is horizontal, so we're also going to put H, and then effort, Y, it's vertical, and then progress is progress, but you'll see what I mean. So down here is time, then you have effort, it's just the concept of us. Time is always moving forward, whether you like it or not. It's just who you become in the process is really what it is. Not to come off cold, but it's the fact that how you make use of that time is ultimately going to influence the progress you make in life. Going back to the initial thing before, how results can influence our thoughts, and those thoughts influence behavior, action, onto results, and the cycle continues. There's just the fact that us being in this, and if we were to branch this out with, we know what we know about this, get it, you take a snapshot, great. All right. We know up here, it's double positive, because this side is positive, this side is negative. However, this refers to X, and this refers to Y when it comes to the coordinates. Coordinates also similar to that of when you look at a graph. Not just a numbered graph, but a map graph as well. There are coordinates. So bless anybody whose coordinates are multiple numbers within multiple numbers, as that's something that could definitely throw off the delivery person. Anyways, so we know this one here is X, this one here is Y, because it is going up. When we are going up, it's positive. When we're going down, it's negative. It's just numbers based, reality, it is what it is. You're either incline or decline. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when we get over here, this is a double negative. Over here, you have positive negative. This box here that I was promoting prior refers to monumental outcomes. This box down here, detrimental outcomes. So when I'm promoting this, I'm promoting this quadrant right here, as X is time, Y is effort, and the correlation here, in a sense, is positive. So you know that at least you're making progress along the way. That's what I always say as well. Perseverance is a reminder of intangibles gained along the way. So there's so much more to share with you as well. Also, this can be applied to the spider web, which I know we're coming up to Halloween soon, but it's also the fact of how every piece of the web that is created, the silk that is created, which are in a sense a combination of nanocrystals, which is really cool, especially with when you understand how silk works. Even though it can expand, it can also go back to original size. That's where dimensional share is of a thing. It's the fact of how it crosses through that plane. That could be another video later if you like. But for now, this is where we're at. So it's all about promoting what we can additionally accomplish in life and what we can set ourselves up for success and professional purposes, constructive purposes only, how it's more feasible now than ever. It's all about the content you receive, how you apply it to your life, and how you continue to grow as a person. Believe it or not, you're likely a role model to somebody. It's just how would you like to be a role model for that person, as you would probably want that a role model to be for you when you are of that age. And one of the things in life you learn is just because parts of it make you cold doesn't mean you have to be just as cold, if not colder, to other people. That's similar to the concept of hurt people, and then there's also some within that, it's called healed people, heal people. So that's all I have for today. Appreciate you for being here, and if something caught your attention, let me know, and I'll try to go in further detail if I don't have any other videos on it. There's a chance I do already. It's just the concept of you receiving this content, as it may not be the most aesthetically pleasing content you receive out there. Just know it's real, and that's all I care about being. So I appreciate you for being here, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the next one.